Hi friends, this is Kamal Singh, registered migration agent from the Migrators. In this video, basically, I'm gonna be educating you how to submit your expression of interest for 189, 190, and 491 visas. This video is just for educational purposes. All the individuals who are interested in taking the migration services must talk to a registered migration agent like myself. So just take this video as an education purposes. Don't feel like every case is similar. It may impact your visas in future. All right. So what is EOI, expression of interest? Is basically an application which has to be made where you are invited by the Department of Home Affairs for permanent visas like 189 and 190, or a pathway to permanent provisional regional visas like 491. So the invitation is given by the Department of Home Affairs. Some people are confused that the states gives the invite. State only sends an application to the department. Still, the department has to give you the final invite to submit the visa application. All right. So let's move forward. I'll quickly share my screen. Go slowly in regards to educating you how the expression of interest is lodged. Bear with me for a sec. So guys, SkillSelect is basically a portal where you have to submit your expression of interest. As you can see the screen here, just go on typing on Google SkillSelect, follow the pattern. And then this is where you start your actual EOIs for 189, 190, 491, and business visas. Today, I'll be basically educating you on how to submit your expression of interest for skilled visas 189, 190, and 491. So you just click on Start an EOI. Make sure you read all the conditions. Your occupation must be in the skilled occupation list because you're going to submit an applications for skilled visas. You must have minimum 65 points, and make sure your English proficiency, your education qualification, everything must be there. If you want to calculate your points, you can follow this points calculator, which will be able to assist you. Okay, let's go on to submit an EOI. Go through with the terms and conditions of the EOI. Make sure you are submitting your accurate and correct information in the EOI, or else it will impact your visa application in the future. Moving on to next, just type in any kind of, I'll just use my name for the time being. Just double check your details, guys. Date of birth, name, and everything is okay. If it is okay, let's keep moving forward. Password, just keep any kind of passwords, nothing to worry about if you forget it, because you are able to reset the passwords if required. Okay, so it's nothing to worry about. Just fill in all these details, and then after basically filling in the details, you will basically receive an EOI number. Okay, and you will also see an email has been sent to you via an email, so you will see the emails there. Okay, as you can see there, gives you EOI number just in case if you lose it. Okay, go ahead and log in now. I recommend you to please do save your password just in case you might forget the password, saving you from the hassles. So this is the page where we are selecting what kind of visa we are applying for, 189, 190, 491s. So you can select whatever visa applications you're applying for. If your occupation is in an MLTSSL list, you are eligible for all these visas. Okay, so I'll probably say go ahead and submit the applications for 189, 190, and 490. Moving forward next. Are there any family members the client would like to include? If you are in a relation, make sure you go on selecting yes. For example, my wife. Next. What state you want to submit an expression of interest for? For example, Victoria. Are you prepared to live in regional? So if you're looking for 491 applications, you have to select yes to these. Can the client be sponsored by an eligible relative? This is for 491 family sponsored visas, guys. So when we are using the word relative, you have to justify what kind of relative it is. For example, if your brother is living in a regional area, you have to tell them yes. They'll ask you the postcode. Let's take an example, 7008. And then you go on to selecting your English examination, PTE, whatever the date. Fill in. So as you can see, it says superior English, which will give you 20 points, 79 in each PT or 8 band in IELTS in each of the modules. If you are 65 in each candidates, gives you proficient 10 points. Clear? In our case, we're gonna go 79. Moving forward, just give them the education history. Most of the candidates who have studied in Australia, just type in whatever studies you have done, given that qualification, basically, focusing on if you've done bachelor's, you'll get 15 points, master 15, research and other kind of qualification, you'll extra 5 points, 20 points for PhD. Okay, this is again dummy, guys. Okay, so I'm just typing in dummy information. Just whatever your correct information is, just go on and fill it out. Okay. Australian study requirements, if you have studied for at least minimum 2 years in Australia, you will get those points, 5 points for that. Special ed is more for research work. If you're not sure, you can click on this question mark and see what it is. Okay, so this is basically for special education, degree by research works and also extra 5 points. All right, regional study. If you have lived and studied in regional for at least 2 years, you can claim on regional points. In this case, no. CCL, NATI, normally people will call. The examination is Prudential Community Language, has to be done only in certain languages. They're planning to omit this exam. So at the moment, you are still able to, claim the points if you have done CCL. Okay, make sure, guys, you're not selecting any wrong points, or else your EOI will be lodged in, wrong points, and you might be invited, and then the frustration will kick in if you are invited on wrong points. Clear? I haven't done NATI, so I'll move forward. Nominate occupation, whatever your occupation is. At the moment, I'm just going dummy accountants. Just select your skill assessment authority, CPA. If you're not sure, contact us for your skill assessment. If you do not have the skill assessment, we'll advise you to apply for the skill assessment before even you submit your EOI. So you must have skill assessment and minimum points, and your occupational list must be in the demand to submit your expression of interest. Okay, so again, it's a dummy information which I'm feeding in. Moving on to next. Employment. If you are claiming employment, guys, just go ahead and submit your employment. For example, if you have been working as an accountant, your employer name can be anything, ABCD, country Australia. Considering the points for employment, if you're working in the skilled occupation for 1 year in Australia, you'll get 5 points. 3 years on overseas, you'll get 5 points. And further, extra points, 3 years will give you 10 points. 5 years will give you 10 points if overseas. 3 years, 10 points in Australia. Professional year. If you have completed your professional year, just go on, select yes and no. In our case, it's no. Professional year stream is normally, accounting, computer science, engineering. So let's take an example. If you're a chef or a cook, you can't basically do professional year. Do not go ahead and selecting points. Moving forward, next. Just a little bit slow on to taking these points. All right, so this is just the verification page where they'll ask you, okay, this is what you are claiming. Are you happy with it? If you're happy with it, just move forward. Just make sure you are reading all the terms and conditions, and the declarations must be perfect. Just keep that thing in mind, guys. EOI is not a visa application. It's just an expression of interest. Okay, that you are showing interest to be, applying for permanent visas to Australia. So you must be, invited accordingly. Feels like for 189, 75 points, 80 points for 190, 90 points for 491, and 90 points for 491 family sponsor. How the points are calculated, I'll show you in a sec. Just bear with me. All right, so go ahead and submit the application. And once you are on the submissions page, if you feel like you have been invited for some other visas, go ahead and withdraw your EOIs. Gives a fair chance for those candidates who have been waiting for a longer duration to be invited. How you're gonna view your EOI? Just click on view EOI and view points breakdown. So this is your EOI. You can go ahead and read all the information, and this is your points for age, for language, qualification, state, family, years of work experience, years of work experience from overseas, Australian study requirement, partner visa. So these are all the points which must be perfect. Why we are saying this is because if you are invited with the wrong points, there are very high chances, that your visa will be refused. All right, so it was pretty much straightforward, guys. Now, yes, there are complex cases. These point system are pretty complex to understand, and there are always, we have seen visas being refused on the basis of points being calculated incorrectly by the individuals. So if you are not sure about your expression of interest, if you're not sure about your employment points, I will advise you to contact our office in Point Cook and Melbourne branch and seek help from a registered migration agent. If you've got any questions, you can always leave us a comment. Please do like and subscribe this video so your friends and relatives can take some benefit out of this. Until then, see you guys.